Escape.
Welcome to Escape the Norm, your escape from the real world and pathway into all forms of entertainment. I'm Josh here with Everett, Deidre, and Joe. There will be no locker room talk on this episode, so if you're offended by that kind of stuff, do not worry about it. Nobody here is running for president, so we will not have locker room talk of any kind whatsoever. And certainly no one here thinks that they can just grab people whenever they feel like it. And being a celebrity doesn't really give you permission to grab people whenever you feel like it, unless you're famous for grabbing people whenever you feel like it. And even then, I think they have to at least sign a waiver or something. If anybody watched the debate last Sunday night, I'm sorry. I feel really bad for the people at the debate because they had questions. And I know that many of them didn't get to ask their questions because Donald and Hillary kept talking over each other every 10 seconds. I think if Donald had actually been in a locker room Sunday night instead of in a town hall meeting, it would have gone a lot smoother because then he could just talk nonstop and never, ever get interrupted ever for any reason.
Him and Roethlisberger would have a lot to talk about. But
him and Roethlisberger would have a lot to talk about it. Him and Tom Brady are best friends, by the way. If I couldn't hate Tom Brady anymore, it came out today that he might be a Trump supporter. And when somebody asked him about it at a press conference, he just smiled and said, "Excuse me, goodbye." He didn't even confirm it. A year ago, he was acting like they were best friends, and now he didn't even want to talk about it. So, just another reason to hate Tom Brady. In case you didn't have enough reasons to hate Tom Brady, you can add that to the list. He apparently supports grabbing women by the vagina whenever the mood hits you, I guess.
whenever the spirit moves you.
You know? Sure. So, anybody else see the debate Sunday night?
No, thank God. But
I watched it just
apparently watching the debate would have lowered IQ levels about 7 points. So
Sure. And, it was the lowest point in American politics, in the history of American politics. It really was. It was the civilization collapsing before your eyes. He threatened to throw her in jail.
He argued with the rules the whole time.
Well, he's been arguing with the rules his entire life, so
He didn't really even look at the crowd. It was a town hall meeting. That's what you do.
But he's never been.
He's never behind her the whole time.
He's never been in a town hall though.
That's true. And you could tell she totally had because she was just like, "Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for your question."
Talking directly, yeah.
Thank you for your question. I am actually not in favor of grabbing women by the vagina. I think that should be Hillary's new slogan going into the election. I don't grab women by the vagina. That should be her new thing. Instead of together,
Together we could
forever.
Or something. I don't.
What is it?
I thought
together
I'm with her.
No, it's stronger together.
Stronger
That's
together,
what it is.
yeah.
Instead of stronger together, it can just be I don't grab women by the pussy.
I think Donald just built a damn wall, but
that's not going to protect the women in this country. It's
no.
only going to protect the women
I think
in Mexico.
I think the only reason he's building the wall, he's trapping the women in this country, so that way they can't run.
Yeah.
They're going to be clawing at that wall.
Yeah.
The angry orange is after them.
Yeah. It's locker room talk. I mean, it's no big deal. All presidents talk this way.
All I'm going to say is,
I saw someone, I'm trying to remember if it was Kerry Washington or not that said on Twitter, but it was somebody who said
Kerry Washington's awesome.
When he said the thing about women, he was disrespecting women, and when he dismissed his locker room talk, he was disrespectful to men. Because he's saying that all dudes talk.
All dudes talk. I can't tell you how many times Joe has said, "Hey, I'm just going to grab somebody whenever I feel like it." Because,
they'll let me.
I'm a guy, and they'll just let me do it.
Last I heard, I thought that was called assault.
I believe that is called sexual assault.
And
I believe
it's very
Anderson
illegal.
Cooper. I was going to say Anderson Cooper used those words.
Those moderators were the best.
They
did
were
not
great.
let
Anderson
any
Cooper
shit
and
pass.
that girl from ABC whose name I don't remember.
I didn't remember either.
They
didn't take any shit.
They didn't take any shit off Trump at all. They were not. Anderson Cooper spent a good 5 minutes hounding him. Asking him, so have you committed sexual assault? Yes, no, yes, no.
Because they would ask a question, right? And then
Trump's answer to every question was that he's going to beat ISIS.
Okay. Well, that's all fine and good, but Answer the question.
The question was about taxes. Well, I'm gonna be ISIS.
Well, I think the question should have been, hey, where's your taxes?
I was saying they would ask a question, and the person answering would go totally off topic. And then half the time they did that, they would be like, oh, well, since you brought up that topic, let's pull up this question from someone on the internet that asked about that exact topic. Now, what do you have to say about the sexual assault? Or something direct like that. Like, they were on top of their shit.
Finally, he was just like, he kept answering these long-winded questions, and Anderson Cooper just stuck on it. And he was like, have you ever committed sexual assault? And he was like, no, I have not. But also, ISIS,
He made 20 answers before he said the word, before he finally said, no, I haven't, because he kept trying to get around it.
Yeah.
And he finally said it sounded insincere and shit.
So,
well, for all their complaining about Hillary being a criminal, if he says yes right there, well, he can't even use that.
Well, how can he say yes? I applaud Anderson Cooper for hounding him like Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men, but there's no...
Would it surprise you, though, if he said yes?
It almost seems consistent with his...
Well,
he does what he wants.
It is a lot like that scene in A Few Good Men, because Tom Cruise's whole theory was that he wants to say it. So, maybe Anderson Cooper did think he was gonna Tom Cruise the whole thing and just be like, Did you make the order? Did you order the code red?
Did you order the
code red?
You damn right.
It's just nice to see moderators actually asking questions and want to know the answer to instead of doing the Jimmy Fallon ruffling his hair.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be the last time you see that because I think the next two debates are...
There's only one more.
There's only one more, but it's not going to be town hall. It's going to be another...
No. It's not going to be town hall. It's going to be... Trump's going to do it from his house. And he's going to conveniently lose signal.
Every time a question like that comes up. It's like, I've got the Ethernet cable right here. It's like, internet loss. I'm sorry.
He's just going to be sitting there just like
Sorry,
crumpling paper.
Don, you just pulled the wrong plug. They can still hear you. Well, what the hell did I pull?
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, we've covered that no one here is going to grab anyone unless they ask. We're going to start off with movies and television.
Movies and television.
Hi, everybody. This is Josh for Movies and Television. This week in Movies and Television news, the Power Rangers are back. If you've seen the movie Chronicle, then you've seen the preview for the new Power Rangers movie, because basically, in this version of Power Rangers, they find their rocks or coins or whatever the hell they're supposed to be in a meteor in the ground, and all of a sudden they have superpowers. I don't think one of them goes crazy and kills their stepdad, but I don't know that they don't, and very little was shown in this trailer. It looks like the Breakfast Club with superpowers, because they go to a breakfast clubby place, and they're all supposed to be losers, even though they're all hot. That's dumb. And then they find these stones out, and then they're all of a sudden super strong. You see Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa in their weird green Rita Repulsa outfit. You don't get to see Bryan Cranston as Zordon. You don't get to see what Alpha 5 looks like. And you don't get to see Zords. You don't even really get to see them in the suits, because they start putting the suits on as the trailer's going off. For some reason, they played a cover of Johnny Cash's Walk the Line in the trailer, because I think if Johnny was alive today, that's what he would want, is to be the soundtrack for the new Power Rangers movie. And that's it. That's the trailer. So if you're excited about Power Rangers, you're not going to like this trailer, because there's no Power Rangers in it. Once the trailer came out, the director of the movie, Dean Israelite, spoke with Heat Vision. He basically just said they were deep into editing and visual effects. They've got quite a while yet in order to get everything perfect in time for the release. We're still cutting, and we're still working on visual effects. He basically feels the Power Rangers property can be exploited a lot the same way that Marvel and DC can, and the way they're using one movie to build another and another and another. I don't see that comparison at all, because Power Rangers shows have only ever existed to make more Power Rangers shows. So it's not like a big interconnected universe, because once one Power Ranger show is done, a new one takes its place. It's like Highlander, so you can't really have a big mythological thing, but we don't know anything about this except that it looks moody and it looks really expensive, and that's that. So we don't know what to expect from this Power Rangers movie. I'm gonna go see it because I'm hopeless, but I don't know what to expect. So I may love it, I may hate it. Who knows? We can all find out together in March. Also, if you're looking for it, it's Halloween. It's Halloween time. A lot of great Halloween movies on television. The greatest Halloween movie ever is, of course, Halloween, which is appropriate. If you're excited about the next Halloween movie because you heard that John Carpenter is producing it and he's doing the music for it and they've got everything lined up to do it, then you are screwed because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Recently, producer Jason Blum of Blumhouse Productions, which also does Elevator and several other films, recently Cinema Blend talked to Jason Blum and he said, and I quote, "We haven't landed on a filmmaker and we haven't landed on an approach. We thought we had a filmmaker and an approach, and we don't. We're talking to a handful of people about it. All of them have different ideas. I don't believe in coming up with an idea and telling a filmmaker what to do. So we have 3 to 5 different people we're talking with, and all of them have a different idea about what it should be, and we haven't landed on a group, and as a result, we haven't landed on an idea. So these jackasses just got together and said, let's make a Halloween movie. And they said, cool, let's get John Carpenter. Cool. They all got together in a room, and then they said, shit, what do we do now? So now, much like American Idol and The Voice, they are playing 5 or 6 different people off of each other, and just apparently going to have a vote, a call-in vote to see which version of Michael Myers they want the most. My vote is for a super gay Michael Myers in a pink mask that prances around town, because it's never been done before, and if we're living in a time of equal opportunity, it's time for a gay Michael Myers, I think. Because middle America is going to be terrified of that, even before he ever starts killing anybody. Moving on to things we don't know. Daniel Craig finally did an interview addressing the James Bond situation. Basically, last year, when he said all he wanted to do, if he had to play James Bond again, he slit his wrist. And if he did another Bond movie, it'd only be for the money. That was a year ago, and in this new interview, he's basically saying that he was tired, he just got done filming Spectre, it took a year of his life to film Spectre. But he basically said, and I quote, as far as I'm concerned, I've got the best job in the world. I'll keep doing it as long as I still get a kick out of it. If I were to stop doing it, I would miss it terribly. So a year ago, he wanted to slit his wrist. A year later, he would miss it a whole lot if he didn't get to do it again. He's got another year before they start filming the next Bond anyway, so he's got plenty of time to think about it. I hope he does one more just because Spectre was terrible. I mean, just god-awful. So if he does one more, I'd like him to do one more just so he can end on a high note. But I don't want him to slit his wrist, so if that's what it takes, then I don't know why he'd want to slit his wrist. He's going home to Rachel Weisz. I don't know why he would ever want to slit his wrist for any reason. And finally, some Marvel news. If you like Blade, just a lot of great news this week about stuff that's not happening, which is why it's not a great week for me and why I'm going first. If you like Blade and are a fan of that character, I'd wait a while, because Kate Beckinsale apparently at the Comic-Con this week said that they tried to get Blade in the Underworld franchise, and Marvel said, no, we're doing something with them, and with Blade. And when they asked Kevin Feige about it at the latest screening of 15 minutes of Doctor Strange, he said that, are we doing something with Blade? No, we're not. We just, we like having him. But this is exactly what he said. They did ask a long time ago, and I think our answer was, no, we'll do something with Blade at some point. That's still the answer. We think he's a great character. He's a really fun character. we think this movie is going into a different side of the universe that would have the potential to have him pop up. But between the movies, the Netflix shows, the ABC shows, there's so many opportunities for the character to pop up, as you're now seeing with Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that rather than team up with another studio on that character, let's do something on our own. What that is, where that will be, we'll see. There's nothing imminent to my knowledge. So basically, Kevin Feige just has Blade right now chained up in his backyard, and he'll let him kill vampires when he feels like it. And with that, we move on to discussion.
I thought Fox owned the rights for Blade.
They do not.
Huh.
Marvel got the rights back to Blade and Punisher and Ghost Rider a year or two ago.
Huh. Well,
Ghost Rider, of course, for Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
yeah.
Yes, because that looks so exciting. It really makes me want to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The second-rate fucking Ghost Rider. It's not even the real.
Not even Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
Not even.
It's not Johnny Blaze.
It's not Johnny Blaze.
Or,
It's,
or Daniel
Robbie
Kitch.
it's
Reyes.
like the 15th Ghost Rider down.
And he's not even a real Ghost Rider, according to the comics.
Yeah, according to comics and everything else, he's not.
He's not.
He's
Yeah.
just, a spirit of vengeance.
Yeah, he's not even a spirit of vengeance. He's just some guy that got possessed by another guy and has fire powers.
Yeah. So super fucking exciting if you want to watch a low-budget third-tier Ghost Rider hang out with a bunch of non-characters on a show that should have never fucking existed except to fucking cash in on that Avengers money.
Yeah.
And it didn't even do that because the ratings are shit for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It should be Agents of Shit. They would save time on the billboards. It's just not...
So you haven't seen any of the... So I take it you haven't seen any of the show at all.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
I have not ever, not once, had any interest in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, they were like, oh, Joss Whedon's involved. No. Joss Whedon called his brother and said, I'm busy doing all, being the godfather for the MCU. So I need you to run this fucking cash-in show for me. And he's like, can I bring my wife? And Joss is like, sure, bring whoever the fuck you want. So I think it's Joss Whedon's brother, his sister-in-law, and their kids are making this fucking show that has almost no cooperation from the movies at all, except every once in a while somebody shows up.
Yeah, there'll be like a cameo from somebody.
Sam Jackson, I guess, was in it for like 2 minutes.
Lady Sif.
Yeah.
And of
just
course,
a bunch
Coulson.
of fucking
Coulson's the only thing that ties it together.
And the longer the show's gone on, from what I understand, the less it has to do with anything that's happening in the movies, which means you have no reason to watch it. So instead of being its own cool thing like the Netflix shows are, where they exist in the same universe but they're their own cool thing, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just like
a cookie cutter.
It just catches whatever crumbs are dropped by the movies.
Yeah, it's definitely like that, especially like Everett. Once a big Marvel movie comes out, there is something that coincides in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but they have to adjust their show based on that.
Exactly.
The movies don't adjust anything they're doing based on the show, and I know that because nothing in the movies has referenced anything that's happened in the show. It's like, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist anymore. Okay, that's cool. Well, nobody told the people at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because when they were making Captain America Winter Soldier, they hadn't started working on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet.
Right.
So they plotted that whole movie out with S.H.I.E.L.D. falling apart, and like months later, the people at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are like, hey,
what do we do?
What's going on? Oh, you guys aren't a thing anymore. But the show is called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, well.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. That's on you. See you, bro.
Yeah.
So no reason to watch it. It's a total cash-in show. It has no reason to exist.
Yeah, this season is really like off the rails. So
I mean, I don't think they were ever on rails. I was never excited to watch it. So
no, I just watch it just to see how it ties in with the comics and the movies. So Power Rangers, you are very correct with the Chronicle.
Did you see it?
I did see it. And yes, it looks okay. It's like, oh, we found these weird coins, and then Jason, the guy who plays Jason, like wakes up the next day and he's got like an 8-pack.
8-pack, yeah.
He's like, I'm changing,
Yeah, their version of Billy is like the dude headbutts him and falls back
Yeah.
because he can't.
Bulk or Skull or whoever, whichever one it is.
I don't.
Like,
Did we see Bulk or Skull in that?
I thought I just
you
assumed
think
that was one of them.
One
Yeah,
of them?
yeah, I just assumed it was one of them.
I don't know. how to
Headbutts
feel
him and
about
then
it
just
at all.
knocks himself out.
I thought that definitely they should try to explain things more because today's audience was not going to just accept
Yeah,
the Power Ranger story as it was. I get that, but I think they went way. I think kind of like I feel about Man of Steel.
mm-hmm.
I think they went way too far with like over explaining the mythology.
Oh, yeah.
The suits look fucking ridiculous. They don't even look like the original suit at all.
What?
And, like,
Okay, going to that. Do you think it was such a bad idea if they used like the original suits from the TV show?
No, they shouldn't have used spandex. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this movie is going to make money off nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
But if you're taking away everything about it that makes people nostalgic for it,
Then there's no
point. There's no reason for Superman's suit to have 40 different lines going through it and all these different details to it.
Right.
There's no reason for it at all. And that over-explained Krypton background was just it totally took away from mainstream audiences. Don't give a shit about any of that.
Right.
And mainstream audiences are not going to flock to Power Rangers anymore just because, the kids are all
watched that as a
troubled
kid.
and now their suits, now they have powers before they take the suits on, and the suits are connected to their DNA. They're connected to their Y chromosome. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
that
was
sorry.
me.
But it's like, it just didn't, again, it's just too much.
bullshit.
If they get into the suits and the Zords and stuff and then it's fun, then okay.
Yeah.
But I was kind of pissed off at this whole thing as soon as I saw Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa because I saw absolutely no reason why Rita Repulsa couldn't look like
Rita Repulsa.
because Elizabeth Banks has that crazy eye smile sometimes.
They were talking that she's actually supposed to be the Green Ranger, which I
No way in hell.
you know how Rita actually had the green coin. So,
She's green in this.
yeah,
I could see her in a sequel making the Green Ranger because she's green. I don't understand why that means she has to be green.
right, yeah.
No. I'm sure they'll bring Tommy in for the sequel. I'm sure they'll do that.
they have.
Because they have Jason and Kimberly together in this trailer. So they have a love triangle already built in, Twilight style.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So they can get that young adult money.
Ugh.
But the thing that got me the most was the fact that the chick that plays Kimberly is really pretty.
Mhm.
And here she is in the trailer like, you loser.
Yeah,
The girl's
yeah, they're all losers.
They're all really good-looking losers.
Yeah, all the Power Rangers in this reality are all losers.
They're all
and-
really good-looking, troublemaking losers.
Yeah, and you remember
and now
in
they
the
have
original,
superpowers.
you remember in the original, what's called, like they were actually like
They were all
like
popular.
They were like mid.
Well, the original
popular.
didn't make any sense either because they were all really popular and really nice.
Yeah, that is true.
And the fat Slav guys were the bullies.
Yeah.
So that didn't make any sense either. I just want, something that makes sense. Like, don't tell me that they're really nice and don't tell me that they're sympathetic. If they're a bunch of jocks already, they don't need powers.
Right. So how much of involvement does Saban actually have with?
It's the title of the movie is Saban's Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So wow.
They had a lot.
A
of
lot.
Mm.
They're just cashing in on that nostalgia wave.
Yeah.
They finally wrote it. They're finally writing it at just the right time to where they can make a big budget fucking Power Ranger movie. And Ham Saban's, they've been waiting for that for years.
Ever since like the last one.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll actually try a Power Rangers cinematic universe?
I'm sure they'll try.
They'll try it. Whether it'll see or not is a different
It'll all
story.
depend on how this one does. So that's it for me. Any other thoughts? Anybody want to call Daniel Craig and see if he's made up his mind yet?
Oh,
Everett, you got his number.
I'm sure you'll take the money.
I mean, after Spectre. Oh fucking hell, Spectre.
Yeah. It was me, James.
Yeah, it was me,
It was
James.
me, James. I made you want to slit your wrist.
Fucking hell.
Because you had to watch this movie.
Because you had to watch it. I wanted to slit my wrist too. I don't blame them for wanting to slit. I mean, I wanted to slit my wrist too after that. They spent 2 years making that.
We got this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were really excited for Spectre too.
I was so excited. Skyfall was so good. I was so excited.
And then
And then
we got
just-
they shit the bed.
Like, There are people that say that Spectre is better than Quantum of Solace. I don't think it is. I think Quantum of Solace was way better than Spectre.
Yeah.
I think it made way more sense than Spectre. Spectre doesn't make any fucking sense. He meets Mr. White's daughter, and then they just fall in love because they're both alive and they both have
They have pulses.
they both have pulses and they both understand what it means to lose a loved one. Which basically means he could fall in love with anybody he meets.
Yeah, that has a tragic backstory.
It's the whole Blofeld thing with they used to be stepbrothers, and he organized all this. It's just so it's so out of their ass. I don't mind if they wanted to tell that story, but they could have done a way better job of doing that.
It didn't have to sound so.
It was so contrived.
So Saturday morning.
Oh my god! I thought Dwayne Johnson was going to show up, and the rest of the G.I. Joe crew. I mean, we already got Batista, so I mean, I don't know.
Vin Diesel.
Give it time.
Okay. So, with that, we're going to move on to music and animation with Deidre.
Music and animation.
Hi, this is Deidre with music and animation news. Now, you remember how Solange, I guess is how you say her name, Beyonce's sister Solange, came out with an album I told you about last week. Well, it's called A Seat at the Table, and it hit number 1 on the Billboard 200 as of this week, so that is a huge success for her. That was her third album. That makes her and Beyonce the third sibling solo artists to land number 1 records in the same calendar year, and they're the first sisters to do it. The previous people that did that were Michael Jackson and one of his sisters, and then another couple that were a couple of brothers, it looked like. But they're the first sisters to do it, so that's pretty cool. It looks like she's been getting great reviews on that album, so if you haven't checked it out yet, that's available on YouTube. That's where I started listening to it. It's pretty soulful, kind of old style from what I've heard of it so far, so check that out if you're interested. Drake this week, despite the fact that he has an ankle injury that's caused him to postpone the rest of his tour, he still broke Michael Jackson's record this year at the American Music Awards. Michael Jackson in 1984 got 11 nominations for different awards in different categories at the American Music Awards, and Drake this year got 13 nominations, so that's the most in 32 years. That show comes on November 20th, so you'll be able to see how many of those awards he actually won. Despite the negative criticism he got for the album Views, with the 20 songs that came on that, it looks like he's done a good enough job to get a lot of nominations, so he's made history this week. If you're interested in Suge Knight's lawsuit, Dr. Dre and Ice Cube were cleared. They were removed from the lawsuit. Apparently they were deemed not responsible for Carter's death, so they're out of that. Suge Knight's not. He's still on for murder, but those two are out of it, so good. They're safe. And the last piece of music news, Amazon this week launched their on-demand music streaming platform called Amazon Music Unlimited. If you're an Amazon Prime member, that means that you'll be able to get this cheaper than you can get most of the other streaming services at $7.99 a month or $79 for a year. If you have an Echo or an Echo Dot, that price goes down to $3.99 a month because Amazon's pushing those. So, hey, if you have one of those, that can be the cheapest streaming service you've ever had the opportunity to get. If you're like me and you don't have Amazon Prime or an Echo, you can get it for $9.99, which is the same price as Spotify, Google Play, and Apple Music. If you don't want to do any of that, there is a 30-day free trial. So if you'd like to check that out, it's called Amazon Music Unlimited. On to animation news. A live-action Aladdin movie will have Guy Ritchie as a director. Guy Ritchie is the guy that worked on Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., so that should be interesting, and they are preserving a lot of the original music from the old animated classic that we all know and love, just like they've been preserving a lot of music from Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book to help us bring all that nostalgia to the present day, so that should be awesome. Marvel is launching a new Spider-Man series on Disney XD next year called Marvel's Spider-Man, and it's focused on his teenage years. That's not the most interesting news to me, but if you like Spider-Man a lot, Disney XD next year will have that. The story editor from Robot Chicken, his name is Kevin Shinek, and the supervising director, Philip Pignotti, I think his name is, from Marvel's Avengers Assemble. They're both going to be working on that. Also coming to Disney XD next year is Disney and Marvel working with Passion Animation Studios to make Ant-Man shorts. They're going to have Josh Keaton and Melissa Rauch on as voice actors. Melissa Rauch is that short, cute blonde from Big Bang Theory, so that should be cool. And last thing I have for animation is the Troll Hunters series, which is coming out on Netflix on December 23rd. They got a trailer, so if you'd like to see a trailer for that 26-episode series, you can check that out. Top headliners for that, as far as voice acting goes, Anton Yelkin, is that Yelkin? I guess is how you say his name. Kelsey Grammer and Ron Perlman are all going to be in that. I looked that up earlier because, Anton Yelkin isn't with us anymore. So I looked that up to see what they were planning to do about that, and they said that he did record most of the stuff that he had to work on before his death, but not all of it. And they don't have solid plans that they put out right now for who's going to record the rest, but they have said that they're not planning to throw all of his work away because there's so much of it. It was near the time of his death. It feels kind of disrespectful, and he'd done a lot of the work already. So they are keeping that. I'm just not sure who they're going to have to finish the rest of it. So that should be interesting. Like I said, it comes out December 23rd, so they're going to have to come up with something. But that's what I've got for this week, so let's open it up to discussion.
The reason that Ice Cube and Dr. Dre,
Dr.
right?
Dre.
Yeah. I think the reason that they're free as hell and Suge Knight isn't is because they're well liked celebrities, and Suge Knight is just a murderer.
There we go.
Suge Knight is famous for being a murderer. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre are famous for being rappers.
Well,
Suge Knight is just famous because he knew Ice Cube and Dr. Dre.
I
and he
thought I
murdered
saw
people.
in the article, if I understood it right, they were bodyguards at the time, and that's why they got in it in the first place.
Yeah.
So they didn't directly do anything, it doesn't seem like.
No,
It
Suge
seems like
Knight
common
hung
sense.
Vanilla Ice off a balcony to get the rights back to, what was that? The song he covered in Ice Ice Baby for Sting and Under Pressure. He hung Vanilla Ice off of a hotel balcony.
What do you mean by hung? Like held
Suge
by
Knight
his
is a
legs.
huge man. He literally picked Vanilla Ice up and dangled him.
Like Michael
Jackson did his
did
I
kid,
was
yeah.
thinking that
Yeah.
with Blanket, yeah.
So, yeah.
Formerly known as Blanket.
Right, now known as Blank. What else was I going to say? Nostalgia. What was I talking about?
Nostalgia.
Because of Aladdin.
Yeah.
I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it again. This generation has donated nothing.
At all.
They're still redoing stuff. We're talking about Power Rangers. We're talking about Aladdin. I love it. I'm really happy
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Fun.
It's making me happy, but they've got nothing.
And as long as
They've
they do
got
it
nothing.
well, it's not nothing.
No, but I'm saying this generation has donated like
Nothing.
Jack
nothing.
shit.
As far as original stories
As
go,
far as
it's not.
original anything, like
It's just rehashing everything.
A lot of the time, it seems like the anime movies that come out now are almost more focused on how good the animation is than they are on the story itself.
Mhm.
I mean, not that they're not justified in that, because the animation does get better every year. It's like I was saying a couple weeks ago about that Pacific Islander movie, Moana.
Moa.
Mona.
Moana.
Right, just the trailers for that, even just the all this the effects that they do with animation is amazing now.
Mhm. Okay, I remember.
But we don't necessarily have the same classics, the classic feel of these stories like we did in the Disney heyday.
And Spider-Man, like, I don't know. There have been so many Spider-Man cartoons.
Well,
I don't know
oh
how
God.
anybody
The
could
reason,
get excited
It's like
about Spider-Man cartoons.
The reason
9 or
that-
10 of them.
Supervising director, the reason I mentioned it was because Marvel's Avengers Assemble is the other series that he's on right now sometimes on
Mhm.
Disney XD.
Well, he's on Ultimate. They have an Ultimate Spider-Man now that they're ending so they can do this one.
Mm.
Like, they just never stop making... It's like, I don't know how many different ways you can do it. They've done so many Spider-Man cartoons, it's like...
And they've covered every point of his life.
yeah,
Right. This said it focused on the teen years.
it's such an obvious cash grab all the time that it's just like at a certain point, it's just... I just roll my eyes at it because I still think the one from the 90s was the best one and you can't top it. And then they keep coming out. Since the one from the 90s, there's probably been
There's
14.
been at least 9.
Hey, maybe
There's-
you can tell me whether this is true. I heard that the
It's
reason they keep redoing Spider-Man is because in order to keep the rights for it, they have to keep redoing it.
The TV rights.
No, movies.
No,
No.
the movies
No.
and TV are two different things.
No, well, it is probably true that Sony has to make Spider-Man movies to to keep doing the rights. Otherwise, Marvel could have just took it straight from Sony and not made a deal with them to do the next Spider-Man movie, which is what they ended up doing. I know that WB in 2013 had to make Man of Steel because they only had another year before they were going to lose the Superman rights. So
I didn't know that having rights involved having an obligation to
Yeah.
quote-unquote
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to prove you're doing something with it.
Oh, because they don't want you to hold it against your competition to just have it and not let anyone do anything with it?
Yes.
That makes
So, as far as the movies go, that's probably true, but they've never ran up against a timeline before the way they did with Man of Steel, where they were literally getting ready to lose.
Like literally less than a year and counting.
Yeah. So, but with Spider-Man, I don't know why they just keep on since the.
Because I think
94
Ultimate Spider-Man was actually pretty good, and it's got at least 4 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, I mean it's. 5.
5.
The original, the 94 one, yeah, had 5. It was on for 5 years. Yeah. It's just a ridiculous amount.
I think it's because Homecoming is coming out, and they're wanting to
It
tie
is.
that.
I
They're
saw
wanting to
that in
tie
the
that
article.
into.
I
into
saw in
the
the
market.
article they were talking about that. They want to keep
'Cause
the hype
that's-
up. So that
That's the reason why they canceled Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes and changed it to that
They
new
keep
one.
this never-ending process of canceling what they're doing. So if you're a fan of any of the shows, don't get excited because they're just going to reboot it in like the next. You think it's ridiculous in the movies how quickly they'll reboot something. The cartoons are way worse.
Because then they can just.
If you're a kid and you like continuity and you get excited about continuity and stuff, you've got to be just disappointed all the time.
Oh yeah, especially if you're like really attached to. Like I really liked Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and then it was like Avengers Assemble. I was like, what's the difference? And it's just because it's just the characters from the movie. Yeah.
Everett, how do you feel about Beyonce's sister?
Well, seems I've never
Thank
listened
you.
to.
All right. I was just wanting to know.
Seems I've never listened to a damn thing Beyonce's sister. I didn't even know she had a sister until just then. I mean,
I knew she had a sister because her sister got into it with Jay-Z in an elevator.
oh yeah, I keep forgetting it's that.
Yeah, bad shit.
Did he
happens
punch
in
her?
Apparently, elevators just
Elevators are bad.
they bring out.
I don't think he
rage.
punched her, but I think he was
I think on an episode of Elevator one of these times they should get in there and it's just like
Ray Rice.
or Jay-Z or whatever. And no!
Just shut the door real quick. You can't get in.
No!
Don't put me in the
Don't
elevator.
put me
No,
in the
not the
elevator.
elevator.
You know what I really liked about this story is that they listed the other 2 siblings that have gotten #1 hits in the same calendar year. Michael and Janet Jackson were one of them, but the other ones I don't recognize. I love the names because their names are Master P and his brother Silk the Shocker. I don't know who
Wow,
Silk the
Master
Shocker
P and
is,
Silk the Shocker.
but I laughed out loud when I read
There.
it.
That's so
Because
funny.
it's his brother, Silk the Shocker. It's not even
It's not.
a woman.
It's his brother is.
Silk the Shocker.
I'm gonna have to look that up right now and find out what kind of
Oh.
music.
His mother is his brother is Master Q.
I believe they
It kind
old
of
school
sounds like
rapper.
something out of the Get Down, to be honest. Master P and Silk the Shocker.
They were old
Yeah,
school
they were.
rappers.
Master
in
Flash and Grant.
I'll be very surprised if Master P isn't a character in the Beat Down or the Get Down or the Go Down
Or MCP
or the
pants.
Ho Down.
He's an American rapper and actor. I'm shocked that he's a rapper.
I didn't know
Just
he was.
kidding.
I didn't know he was American.
Apparently he is.
He's American. Okay.
So yeah, that didn't have to do directly with my story, but I love that. I got
Yeah.
to listen to some of his stuff now.
Yeah, sure,
Silk the Shocker.
sure. And listen to some Janet Jackson now that she's pregnant.
I thought about mentioning that. I didn't know if that was worth it as a music story to bring it up. But
Well,
yeah, she's pregnant.
sure.
At 50.
At 50.
It happened.
Yeah, it happened.
So she took a break
As
to quote
much
work
to
on
the
family.
much to the disbelief of some of us here.
Yeah. Well, I just thought
and to
it
the total
was.
belief of others.
It was odd. Everett wasn't surprised at all. Everett, Mr. Feminist himself, was just on his own. Women can have babies whenever they feel like it.
They can vote.
They
drive
can
cars.
drive
It's
cars.
a brave new world.
You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Women can have babies at 70 if they want to. You know? Whatever.
It was Jermaine Jackson who said, "My sister Janet is my baby. She's fine, but she's having a baby. A baby having a baby. We look at her like our little baby, and now she's grown up and she's having a baby. I'm proud to be an uncle, and I can't wait to see how this baby's gonna look."
So Jermaine Jackson said baby like 12 times.
It's reference
least.
to his 50-year-old sister, yes.
Yes, the
And-
50-year-old baby.
He's excited to be an uncle. He's like, I'm pretty sure he's been an uncle for a while.
Yeah, because a blanket.
He said,
Yeah.
if you need any parenting skills or baby skills, let me know, because I'm the best diaper changer there is on this planet still to this day.
Does he have
That's what
proof
he
of
said.
that?
I
Is
think there should
is
be
he
a
changing
pronoun.
Joe
I think
Jackson's
there should
diaper? That's what.
I think there should be I think Donald Trump should get on this and try to get him to produce
Yeah.
a certificate saying that he is the best diaper changer in the world.
And that he
Otherwise,
doesn't
it's
have
down to
donkey
Gitmo.
braids.
He doesn't have one.
So who's next?
You're next.
Who is next? I don't know who.
I think it was me, wasn't it?
No, we're going around. He's next and then you.
That's right, I didn't do.
Okay, Deidre, you want?
That's comic. What? Video games
What
and
is-
comics.
What is it that you do?
What do you do? It's been like a month and a half.
I believe
Who
it's.
knows?
I believe it's games and comics.
Well,
Video games and comics.
Well,
that's it. Cut.
No, she's got to throw it to him.
Yeah.
Then we cut, Everett. This is why
No,
you're
she just threw it to
not
me.
in charge of the button.
No.
She didn't say it.
All right.
She just...
it's officially happening now. Joe is gonna go with video games and comics.
Are you sure?
I'm
Great.
sure.
We're positive.
Awesome.
Gaming, and comics.
Hey guys, Joe here with the video games and comics news. And wow, holy shit balls! There is not a lot going on this week in comics or video games that I would really care about. Though there is an awesome beta that is getting ready to. Is it a beta or is it the actual?
It's the early release part of it.
The early release game getting ready to come out. A little game you might know as Battlefield 1. It's getting ready to hit on the early access. Everett and I got to watch someone stream it,
And get destroyed.
and that guy's shit. I mean, who tries to snipe and then catches
What's his name?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't bother looking. It was just like,
I watched some guy play a game
Well,
today.
good thing you don't know his
That's
name, I guess.
yeah.
You're going to ruin his streaming account.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
gonna be so pissed at you didn't use this as a plug for all of our listeners to
All
He-
our
find him.
listeners
Yeah.
can find him.
All our one subscriber.
Yeah. Everett, you need to let that guy know.
Yeah. no.
Hey, didn't we say we were gonna talk about the one subscriber on the next show and we never did?
We
Oh,
probably did. That might have been the episode that got deleted.
That
Delete!
might have been.
All right.
Senior
let Joe
Brewer.
finish.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so Everett and I, we kind of watched some of the gameplay, and I gotta admit, it looks pretty
It
good.
does look actually better than I thought it would.
They've managed to capture World War I pretty well.
Because you were there.
I was
I don't know.
gonna say-
I've seen enough movies, I suppose.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, just going through the city and watching, all those.
Dude gets shot in the face repeatedly.
Yeah, with an
If you
anti-tank.
got shot in the face in a war game,
Oh, I know. With an anti-tank, using anti-tank rounds to shoot each other. Boy, I can't wait to jump into this. Everett, I do believe you've already got.
Yeah. Once I go home tonight, I'll be back on. I'll be on it playing.
Yeah, so it does come out today, and
It wasn't originally supposed to come out until tomorrow, but
ah,
the 13th. But they released it a day early. It's only for the EA early.
yeah. So
access
if you have
people.
EA early
you got
access,
the early enlister package, it comes out on the 18th, and then for those who bought the normal package, it comes out on the 21st.
so that probably means that would cost you at least $29.99 just to play
The
Battlefield.
the
1.
EA, yeah, it's $29.99
And on top
a
of
year.
on top of whatever it is you had to pay for the game, so $60. So yeah, you're looking at least $120, factoring in DLC, of course. In the realm of comics, there's not a whole lot going on. I looked at a few comics just to see what I thought would be worth talking about. A lot of people are talking about the last Batman Detective Comics issue where Tim Drake dies. Spoiler alert. He doesn't really die. I don't think anybody dies in comics anymore.
They do, and they just come back.
Yeah, exactly. That was a really touching story. Batman gets his team together, and then Tim Drake looks at like how he wants to get out of the superhero life and settle down and have a bunch of Robin babies.
I thought Tim Drake like wanted to like be the baddest detective in the world or whatever.
But that was before he got accepted into Harvard or some Ivy League school, because he figured he could do better as
But I
a
thought he was
lawyer.
on like Team Batman. I thought they were
Yeah.
banding together to fight whatever's trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. That, and you're right. And then he kind of, him and Stephanie Brown making their plans for the future, which is already, the first sign that this is going to fail.
Horribly, miserably.
Mm-hmm. And then we find out that Batwoman's father is actually leading this group of militarized Batmen that are.
Of course, it had to be Batwoman's father.
Yeah.
They put him in the issue before that.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Batwoman's father's in charge of all this, and so in order to, they send out a whole bunch of drones to like kill specific people in Gotham City. Tim reprograms the drones to basically attack him to keep Gotham safe, and winds up getting killed. Later on,
Killed.
yeah, like all the drones come back and killed him. Apparently, the new villain of this overall arc, Mr. Oz, is like took him off the board as he put it. So basically, he's just kidnapped him and put him in a prison somewhere, along with pre-New 52 Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
And so that leaves us now with the whole Bat family just grieving for supposedly Tim being dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the more
And
interesting.
they all blame Batman or each other or whatever.
Yeah.
That's right, the same.
Of course, yeah. The last other comic story I thought was really kind of interesting. They're talking about the new the Thunderbolts. They're bringing back a couple of writers. I don't know if any of you guys ever read any of the '90s comics, especially the Thunderbolts. I don't think anybody really read the Thunderbolts. But it was kind of it was a popular series. It was
hit by a radioactive thunderbolt.
Yeah, no. The Thunderbolts is like Marvel's answer to DC's Suicide Squad.
Oh, I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, except the villains in the Suicide they're both bad people. Except I think the Thunderbolts have this illusion that they are trying to be good. Except for like one or two members that were always just trying to do evil shit through. While the Suicide Squad is like, you just do enough stuff, you'll either die or you'll get time taken off your sentence, depending on how well you're selling this comic. So so I think for Thunderbolts 10, they're bringing back a couple writers from the original '90s comics, which is really awesome because I actually liked the original Thunderbolts. So it will be kind of cool, and I do want to see I do hope this gets enough hype that maybe they'll actually look at making a movie, kind of based on the Thunderbolts. And with that, let's go ahead and open up for discussion.
I thought, was Tim Drake banging an orphan? What's her name?
No, he was banging Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Yeah, which was Stephanie Brown.
Someone named Spoiler.
Yeah.
There's so many.
'Cause
Dude,
her
I tried
father's-
reading the new Batman, and they have all these characters that I just never. It was
Yeah.
like they're forming a group together to fight off this threat that's picking people off. It was like Batman, Batwoman. Okay, I know her. Tim Drake as the Robin.
Red Robin.
He's red. I'm sorry. He makes
Yum.
Yeah, he makes hamburgers. Yeah.
Clayface.
Clayface and Spoiler. And Orphan too
Yeah.
is one, right? Isn't there one called Orphan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Orphan and Spoiler.
Which
So
are characters?
Gotham is just a
Are
place
the
of
last
just.
names Orphan Black and Spoiler Free, or what? What's the deal?
I think that Spoiler Alert. I
It
think
should
is
be.
actually.
Yeah, she
weird.
called herself Spoiler because her father was a villain called the Clue Master, which is just like a third-rate
Yeah.
Riddler villain,
Yeah,
Riddler type villain.
yeah.
And
This is why they did the new 52 in the first place.
Mhm.
That's fun.
And for some reason, everybody got attached to Stephanie Brown. She was the worst Robin. She started an entire gang war in the pre-New 52 continuity. And, like, they had to, like, kind of kill her off just so Batman could save Gotham from something that she did.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then Orphan was Cassandra Cain. She was Batgirl for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one with the whole black costume with the stitches and stuff.
But they retconned Barbara being crippled, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they fix it with the rebirth?
Yeah, Barbara Gordon is, she's walking around and all of them.
Yeah.
I see.
So she's Batgirl now.
Yes. She's Batgirl again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Well,
now.
thank God.
Yeah.
Because the entire thing hinged on that.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, talking about, like, I played the second episode of the Telltale game.
Ooh.
And what's cool about the Telltale game is that they do different stuff with characters that you don't think they're going to do. And the only reason I bring that up is because it's the exact opposite of the comics where you
can pretty much predict
you
it.
pretty much know exactly what's going to happen. They don't ever shake anything up. They don't ever stick to anything. And everything's stuck in such a loop that there's no reason to read it. Did we get any word on what's going on with Dr. Manhattan?
Nope, not
All
yet.
right.
We just know that Dr. or Mr. Oz is kidnapping
It's not
these
even
people.
Dr. Manhattan's Wikipedia page doesn't even mention Rebirth.
No.
So I don't know why they were just like, hey, we need to kick this off with a bang. Here's Dr. Manhattan, and then we'll bring it back whenever we feel like it.
Maybe in a Superman comic or a Flash comic, because those aren't selling well.
Mm-hmm.
Though I did get some more context for that for the latest Teen Titans. Turns out that the reason why these new Teen Titans are assembled is because Damian kidnapped them all. And you just see them all.
Oh, Damian was dead.
Kidnap victim squad. Go.
He did die in Batman Inc. And then Ra's al Ghul brought him back to life with some kind of apocalypse magic. He had superpowers for like 2 issues, and then they realized that was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then took away his powers.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's Robin again. And now he's leading the Teen Titans by kidnapping them.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting.
He's leading them by kidnapping.
Mm-hmm. Like, after...
So fucked up.
yeah, but it's just so interesting, the fact that he thinks that he can lead this team, because the original Titans broke up. I think it's because of Tim dying. And so, Beast Boy, you see Beast Boy like out partying, getting drunk, doing Beast Boy things. He meets a girl. He's trying to
Or a female zebra.
Yeah.
Or whatever he decides to. Okay.
So he meets a girl at this party, and they're gonna go skinny dipping. And Beast Boy jumps in the pool, and then as the girl,
a shark?
yes, and as she goes to jump in, he decides it's gonna be funny to scare her by turning into a shark and jumping out at her.
Amethyst did that same thing to Pearl in an episode. Stealing it first, she turned into a shark and scared the crap out of it.
And so, as Beast Boy is trying to bring this girl back and try to talk her down, I think he gets knocked out. He gets like tased or something. And you see Raven, Starfire, and Kid Flash all get knocked out by some various means. And then they all wake up. They're all like chained to this wall. And Damian's just sitting there. It's like, wow, that was easier than I thought. So, yeah, here's your new Titans. Dictatorship for the win.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he was still a shark when he got tased? Is that...
No, he
Don't tase me, bro.
yeah, no, he transformed back into his normal form.
Okay, because that would have been impressive, as if you kidnapped a shark.
Yeah, well, with Beast Boy, if you
Not easy to do.
if Beast Boy's in animal form,
Not
you knock him
easy to
out,
do.
he just returns back to his normal form.
Everybody knows that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I was just
That's
playing.
not how the Animorphs works.
Oh my God, Animorphs.
Animorphs.
Jesus,
That's not how Animorphs works at all.
wow, that's
That's a
one
throwback.
that's one franchise
That's
that
not
they
how
have.
Beetleborgs work.
Ooh,
What?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's one.
that's-
Those are a couple franchises they haven't milked yet. So,
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. If the Power Rangers thing takes off, we could get a Beetleborgs movie.
mm-hmm.
We could get what was the alien from another planet that was in the Power Rangers universe? That had a car. He was just one guy.
The Masked Rider.
Masked Rider.
Yeah. Oh, they have. He already has a ton of TV.
Can we
shows.
get
The
VR
alien
Trooper?
with the car.
Oh Jesus! Superhuman Samurai.
Superhuman
Yeah.
Samurai Cyber Squad.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody.
Call Matthew Lawrence and see if we can get him to do it. I'm
Oh,
so
God.
excited. God, this movie better not be a hit. We're gonna get so much crap.
Yeah.
Any other? Oh yeah, going back to your the Batman thing. Oh, so episode. Hey, I really gotta know. Like, is there how's the
You're talking
game?
about Telltale game?
Yes. How
What?
how was the story? That's what.
I've told you like 4 times how the story was. The story was awesome.
Did you tell him on the podcast?
I told him twice on the podcast, once before the podcast, and once during a break.
Oh, I mean, do you kind of want to elaborate? Like, is
No,
there?
well, you hadn't played it.
Well,
What do you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you what happens?
something
Spend your
non-spoiler.
own $5.
As soon as I find my wallet.
Spend your own money.
You
I've
heard it here first.
been non-spoilery. I just said that they do different things with characters. If I tell you anything about within the first 5 minutes of it, you're already be getting into spoiler because
Wow.
it's already every new scene is a new revelation in this episode.
Well, that's good.
Well, that sounds worth playing.
Yeah, it's good. Like, so I don't
Did-
know. Even the action too, and for a Telltale game, obviously you're not going to get straight
Yeah.
up. But like the choreography is fantastic. It really is like the best Batman thing I've seen since The Dark Knight. It's really good. Because the Arkham games are fun, but they're all basic. The whole
On rails.
mythology of the Arkham universe
Yeah.
is lifted straight from the comics. They didn't come up with any new, Joker killed Jason Todd, and he crippled Batgirl. She's Oracle, and Robin becomes Nightwing, and it's all the whole mythology of Batman and the Arkham universe is basically like playing the comics anyway. They lifted it straight from the comics. But this is like different from the jump. It's not so different that you're going to be like, what the fuck is this? It's just different enough to be interesting.
Would you like to see it as like an animated movie or maybe
I would like to see, I was thinking like, so much of it reminded me of Mr. Robot. I was thinking like when Sam Esmail's done with Mr. Robot, maybe they'll let him do Batman because like a lot of the ideas in this would be really interesting and cool in a Batman movie.
Yeah, I think the last thing I had gotten from the first episode was the fact that like the Waynes actually did have ties to organized crime, and
There's actually a lot of stuff in this, especially in episode 2, that reminds me of Mr. Robot. There's a lot of mind fuckery and a lot of surprises and even a covert group that wears a mask and
Wow.
like it's all so.
And this is all, well, I guess with all Telltale games, they're all original stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really good.
Did it make you go out? Did you buy the season pass or?
No, because the season pass is $20 and each episode is $5, and it's on. There's
There's
only 5 episodes, so you're already
overpaying.
If you don't buy the season pass before you get the first episode, then it doesn't matter. You've already spent.
Right.
$5 more if you need to.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I guess we'll kick it over to
So
Everett.
we'll just end the show then. With that, nothing
Good
else.
night, everybody.
We're not going to do a last part because we don't do that anymore. So
I'm free. I'm free. Go to hell, I'm free.
I'm sorry, I was kidding.
Yeah.
I'm too happy with that. Go
Damn
ahead.
it.
And with that, well, I guess we'll kick it over to Everett with sports and wrestling.
Sports and wrestling.
Hello, everyone. This is Everett. Got some wrestling news for you and a little bit of baseball news, too, if that'll make you happy. Doesn't make anybody here happy because baseball's irrelevant. Let's start off with we had a wrestling pay-per-view this last weekend, No Mercy. And apparently they were going to have no mercy given to them by either the baseball playoffs or the presidential debate. So they threw the main event on first.
Sunday night football as well.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football. They were really getting no mercy on that day at all whatsoever. It's like AJ Styles retained his title in a triple threat match with Cena and Ambrose. Dolph Ziggler won the Intercontinental title. He defeated The Miz. Bray Wyatt defeated Randy Orton thanks to the help of a returning Luke Harper. It's like Rhino and Heath Slater is that tag team that just keeps on chugging along. They beat the Usos to retain the tag team titles. Nikki Bella defeated Carmella in a singles match. Alexa Bliss, yes, the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title, got beat by Naomi, so she jobbed out there on TV. Way to go there with your number one contender. And Baron Corbin, yes, he's still on the main roster, defeated Jack Swagger, who, yes, still has a job. It's like, but the good news for SmackDown is immediately after their SmackDown ratings actually went up. This is the number 2 watch show of the night, just behind the Cubs and Giants playoff baseball games. So that's always a good sign. And, hey, Ryback gives us some interesting things sometimes to talk about. It's like we've already been talking about how Goldberg and Lesnar are getting ready to fight at, what was Survivor Series? Or what was the thing of Survivor Series they're getting ready to fight at next?
Yeah, they're fighting
for the second time. 13 years ago was the last time they ever faced off with each other. Ryback believes it should have been him taking on Goldberg this time around, even though he hasn't had a job in 6 months. And he also believes...
Because he's just as popular as Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and he also believes that they all should be drug tested fairly. Not just the full-timers, but the part-timers. That one I tend to agree with, even though we all know that, according to Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar shoves a needle up his ass every chance he gets.
Just a buffet of needles.
Yeah. And, I mean, he believes Goldberg should be tested and Lesnar should be tested just as like the other ones always get tested all the time. The problem is, though, we don't see a lot of them getting tested. Unless your name is Paige.
I was going to say.
Apparently she gets tested every 30 days and fails.
Well, you definitely get, after you get a suspension the first time, you definitely get tested within the next month.
Yeah.
So that's not a surprise. It's a surprise that she failed the second one.
Even though she knew it was coming, but hey, what can you do if you're her? So that's really about it for wrestling and sports this week, so let's open it up for discussion.
But you didn't talk about Tampa Bay. You didn't talk about Carolina being terrible.
I don't need to talk about that. That can be seen every Sunday.
Well, by that logic, you don't need to be on a podcast.
This Carolina's terrible. The only problem is we're talking about Carolina is it gives literally they're falling into what everybody knows is called the Super Bowl trap. Like one team every year.
The Super Bowl trap.
Well, no, it's
like a bear trap in the woods.
Well, it's like every year one of the two teams in the Super every year one of the two teams in the Super Bowl doesn't make it back to the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw something about that the other day, but I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, like one team from the Super Bowl, it's usually the losing team.
The playoffs.
From the Super Bowl.
Doesn't even make it in the playoffs.
Doesn't even make it to the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
That's every year?
That's just about every year thing. There's only been I think 2 teams that's ever done it. I think they're both the Patriots.
Of course.
Used up all the magic.
Wow.
So, I mean, it just looks like a Super Bowl hangover. Of course, you really can't blame a lot of it. You can't blame a lot of it on Cam. He's getting knocked out just about every week trying to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
And you really can't blame the rest for really not calling all the illegal hits because Cam is just a freak of nature on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they really probably don't treat him like your typical quarterback like they would Brady or Peyton or anybody else.
No, because he can score on them.
Yeah.
Very easily.
With his feet, with running instead of just having to pass the ball.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame the officials. I mean, you can because if they're supposed to do it all fairly for the concussion protocol, which you know that concussion protocol is full of shit because that first game he been pulled out, sitting on the bench already getting through concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, one team usually doesn't make it back to the playoffs.
Wow. I did not know that. So, that's interesting.
Well, I mean,
so you pretty much got to win.
To make it,
you're never going to go back.
It's not that you never go back. It's just the very next year you don't ever.
You're still so bummed out from losing.
Well, it's also you got to think about you also get less time to rest and heal up from the off season than the other
sure
the other 30 teams that didn't make the Super Bowl, because you have that week off in between the NFC and AFC championship game and the Super Bowl anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other 16 teams that don't make the playoffs because they're just horrendously horrible anyway, like Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not even that Carolina's out of the playoff picture because the division they're in isn't really a good division. But if they don't win this next game, then they go to 1-5, and that means they'd have to win.
I'm already seeing things about how people saying it's already over. I mean, I don't think it's already over, but it's pretty close. You already got 4 losses. They'd have to win like 10 more games to be in the conversation. Or
if they won 10 more, they'd be 12 or 11-5. If they lost this next one, then the win out the rest of the games, they'd be 11-5.
Yeah.
And even in this year in the NFC, there's no guarantee that gets you in the playoffs.
Right.
Because you got to think the only undefeated team left in the league is Minnesota. That's just because they're playing defense out of their minds right now.
Yeah. Do you think Paige is intentionally failing drug tests so she can get fired and go be with Alberto Del Rio?
Well, she's pretty much with him now when she's suspended. So, I mean.
I know, but she can't quit. Like, her contract is until 2019.
Yeah. But, I mean.
She's 23.
If she's thought of that, then probably also Vince and everybody else has thought of that.
But then they wouldn't test her because, I mean, they keep testing.
But after this one, when she comes back, they may not ever test her again. They just may make her.
Oh, man. I think she's just going to intentionally screw up another one.
She can all she wants to, but the problem is she doesn't know when they're going to test her. And
well, she can just smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
Until it's a genius plan. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not set in stone after your third one they're going to fire you.
Yeah,
do they fire most people? Yes.
Yeah,
but how many people we've seen get fired have 3 wellness violations and still...
They let you have a redemption after your second one, and you can get the second one knocked off. But I think after your third one, you are boned.
And, I mean, they very well could just look at Paige and be like, hey, guess what? Back to NXT with you.
Wellness policy.
I mean, I don't know if it's set in stone that they'll fire you, but...
I don't either.
I just assumed it was like our job where they keep you as long... Like, you can break whatever rules you want. If they need you to do the job, they keep you around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like in baseball, they have... It's every...
3 needles and you're out.
Well, no, it's not...
They don't test part-time... They don't test Brock Lesnar. We know that because he failed the UFC test. And they don't... So when Goldberg fights Brock Lesnar, he's probably not going to get a test either. So they definitely don't test... Part-timers because they said they don't. But they had to say they didn't because Brock Lesnar failed his UFC test.
Interesting.
But, I mean, he showed up bigger than when he left. I mean...
Sure. Wellness program. It doesn't say a lot about the wellness program. It just...
Well, a lot of it they probably keep under wraps.
As I said, it might keep it vague on purpose.
Yeah. So that way, if people like Paige think she's smart, well, hey, you're still boned until 2019, so deal with it.
I think she's intentionally doing it to get out of her contract.
If I was them, I'd look at her like, Paige, look, you want to get out of your contract, that's fine. Here's a dollar amount you got to pay to get out of it.
But if she violates the wellness policy, what bad things happen to her besides... Like, she wouldn't have to pay that money. What would she have to have happen to her instead? Like, what...
They would just continue to suspend her. And she wouldn't make any money.
But if that's what she wants, then that means there's no other negatives at all to being kicked out based on the wellness policy.
But for until 2019, she's not going to be wrestling or doing anything.
And she's blacklisted from how much when that happens? Just from everything.
And I mean, even if she signed a no-compete clause in her contract, she would still be not able to compete after her contract's up for 90 days.
That's weird.
So, I mean, yeah, she's smart trying to get it fired, but at the same point in time, if Vince, and he's probably already thought of that too, she's doing this on purpose now, since we got rid of Alberto.
I'll show her.
Yeah, Vince will pretty much just like, okay, well, just spend the next 3 or how many years of your career doing nothing except sitting at home. She can't go out. She can't go wrestle for another company without getting sued. And that company getting sued. So
That's how you win. You stop giving them hours. That's how you win that standoff.
So they wouldn't. She wouldn't be able. So even if another company wanted her, even if she wanted to go to like ROH or New Japan or one of the other ones,
prohibited,
she's
right?
she's prohibited. She can't do it. She can't even go back to wrestle for her mom and dad's company without getting them sued to death.
Which I'm assuming is what she was doing before.
Oh yeah, she's been wrestling since she was like 12, 14 years old.
Yeah, she's been wrestling almost her whole life.
So I mean,
well, I kept seeing her name pop up in the news. I didn't know what it was about. Obviously, it's about this, the whole wellness policy thing, the violation of it.
Well, I mean, they didn't. She had last I saw or watched anything on Total Divas, she was going to get married to some guy. The next thing I know, she's dating Alberto.
Well, Alberto was supposed to be married too, and I thought he was supposed to be married, and then they were like, no, they're together. But everything Alberto Del Rio does is shady. He's so much more interesting in real life than he is on TV.
He bores the piss out of me on TV.
But like, he was supposed to do a show for AAA in Mexico, and he missed it because he got in some altercation with a dude with a knife, and he showed pictures. And first he said that it was a road rage thing where the dude got out and attacked him with a knife because he cut him off or something. Then he said it was a homeless dude that was out of his mind. Then he said today or yesterday that the dude insulted Paige and that he was disrespected Paige and he got in a fight with him.
To defend her.
First Paige wasn't even with him. Then she was with him.
Yeah.
And it's just all, and like today he announced he was the president, or yesterday announced he was president of this new Latino MMA company based out of New York.
He's like the Ryan Lochte of
so like Paige at this point, and Alberto Del Rio's left the WWE because he just got tired of him.
Yeah.
And then his wife a month ago was just like, no, hey, wait a minute, we're still married. And he's like, yeah, we're not. And
yeah.
I know that you think that we're married because we
the little
have
things
that
like
paper and you probably still wearing the ring and stuff. But I met this 23-year-old British piece of ass, so I'm going to do that now. So Paige basically is just like attached at the hip to him, and he's obviously not giving her any good vibes about the WWE, so she's young and she's just like, yeah,
impressionable.
I just assumed that the reports were that Triple H basically, or somebody basically told Paige she had to break up with Alberto Del Rio because he was a bad influence on her. She's young and impressionable.
And if you say that to a young, impressionable person, one thing they'll definitely do
the first thing they do is, you know what? You make complete sense. I'm going to stop doing that.
Right.
So she's like 23.
Oh.
But I'm going to make sure.
I think she's 23, 24 years old.
I'm pretty sure that she's just... The first time she got busted for it was because she had a prescription for something and they didn't have the paperwork. So that was nonsense.
Okay.
Because they publicly announce that they bust you, but they don't publicly announce what they bust you for, which is stupid because it basically leaves you there to just defend yourself or not. Yeah. Mm-hmm. People just assume.
So you're saying that her first strike was nonsense anyway?
Mm-hmm. And then this strike, the WWE came out and said, no, it was for illegal substance, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I think she smoked pot and intentionally failed the drug test because like she's really young and her contract is for 3 more years.
Yeah. Okay, and she saw that she had the first strike and was like, hey, all I got to do is do this again a couple times.
I'm fairly certain. Yeah.
But, I mean, they're so vague with their wellness policy, they just make her sit there for the next 3 years.
And how old is Alberto Del Rio?
37, something like 36.
Alarm bells in my head.
Oh, yeah, he's going to leave her for a young piece of ass, too. He doesn't seem like a nice guy generally.
Flames on the side of my face.
He doesn't. Flames on the side of your face. That's a bad place for those.
From that old Clue movie.
Huh?
From the movie Clue. The old
okay.
That woman who's Miss White or whatever.
Yes.
Flames on the side of my face.
Yes.
So, but I mean, she signed the contract, and now Paige
she
is
was
stuck
young.
in it. Yeah.
She was 18 when she signed that contract. It was 2006. We're different people now. How old is Bailey? I have no idea.
Like 18?
Like 12.
She acts 12.
Like
oh,
6.
She's probably close to the same age as Paige, if I had to guess.
Probably. But her whole gimmick is the preteen aesthetic.
Well, and Vince Russo said this, and I agree, that when they get young people like that, they can't keep them over for a long period of time because they're not good at that. They're not good at being creative. So if you sign with the WWE when you're really young, you're doomed because they're going to run out of gas really. They're not going to push you hard enough in the beginning to get you over. They're going to keep you around for so long that you're going to go through 2 or 3 gimmicks and you're just not going to be able to get over. Does that make sense? You're not going to be able.
They keep you boring, kind of.
They keep you boring because you're young and you don't have experience. And if you do get over, they can't maintain it.
They're waiting for you to peak.
Yes.
Okay.
And with Paige, it's like she's obviously talented, but she's so young. There's no way they can keep her. And once you're a girl in WWE and you hit 30, you may as well die. So, like, according to them. So,
anything in the public eye with women.
Right. So she's 23. So she's got like 7 more years. They can't keep her over now. How are they going to keep her over for 7 years? So I don't blame her. For just wanting to just chuck the whole thing.
What do you think she should do after that, though?
She'll probably just follow Alberto Del Rio around until he gets tired of her, and then she'll write a book.
Come crawling back to the WWE.
That will probably happen.
It'd be like when I went to the Jersey Shore in Sunny, like she goes on an adventure where lots of crazy things happen. She sees some shit. And at the end, she writes a book about it. That's a valid strategy, honestly.
I think so.
He sounds like a gangster.
It's just insane. It's like I said, they leave the wellness violation stuff so vague that.
It seems like it's just them making a rule that they can do whatever they want, and they'll just blame it on that rule if they want to take.
The whole thing was all about like steroids.
Well, they have an FAQ on their website, but they don't have an actual wellness policy part of their website. They just have an FAQ where it's like, how many times a year do you? And all the answers are vague. How many times a year do you test WWE talent? The program requires random testing of all WWE talent, a minimum of 4 times a year. The program is independently administered by Aegis Sciences Corporation. So random testing 4 times a year.
So, once every 3 months you're getting popped at some point.
By an outside corporation, even. That's interesting. So this is probably in their contract then. Like the word for wellness policy might be in their contract.
Okay, it says right here. 3-strike system. First strike is a 30-day suspension without pay. Second strike is a 60-day suspension without pay. Third strike is termination of contract.
Yeah.
So she can one more and she can
be fired.
Yeah.
But even if they terminate her contract, she'll still have that 90-day.
And after you test positive and receive a strike, you get 12 times for that year. So once a month. They test you 12 times in the next.
So then they start testing.
Oh, you're saying if you get a negative flag, then you get extra testing. Okay.
So, good luck to Paige.
Yeah, we wish her well, soon to be on her future endeavors in probably about another 3 months.
And probably, until ADR breaks up with her for Bailey. So,
well, they won't let him anywhere near Bailey or the rest of them.
No, they probably will never hire him back ever again. I don't know why they brought him back this time. They didn't do anything with him.
Well, they didn't do really much. The first time he was started out interesting, then went downhill, and now this time he bored the piss out of me. They tried him with the League of Nations. That failed horribly.
Okay, well. So, check out the Facebook page, Escape the Norm Podcast. Check out the YouTube page, Escape the Norm Podcast. Listen to Escape the Norm Podcast and comment.
Please, for the love of God.
Escape the Norm Podcast.
And lastly, but most importantly, vote Escape the Norm Podcast for president in 2017.
Actually, I'm thinking about running for president. So
this year?
Or Everett.
No, not
this year. Not this year.
No, I'm still not
running as the independent candidate for 2020.
2020.
So we got 4 years to build up a
campaign
and a subsequent scandal.
Yep.
So somebody come fuck Everett. So
somebody come
scandal.
fuck Everett. That's a scandal in and of itself.
Get it on recording.
It's a scandal in and of itself.
Well, there'll be no locker room time.
So a vote for Everett is a vote for Everett.
Yeah.
Um,
And I ain't building no stupid wall, that's for sure. So,
no, he's not building anything. He's not leaving the couch.
Nope.
Vote for Everett is a vote for a president who's going to leave you the fuck alone.
Oh man, I need that for real though.
Sure.
That's actually the appealing part of it.
Where's the president? Taking a nap again.
Stay on my shit.
So with that, we leave you all to your lives
For another week.
for another week. You all. None of you. Nobody's listening. I killed JFK. What? Nothing? All right.
Well, after we get famous, the backlog will become popular.
Oh shit! I didn't kill JFK.
It's like, no, wait, delete.
I did not kill JFK. We're gonna edit
Joe,
that out.
where's the head button?
I wasn't even alive when JFK was killed, so I couldn't have possibly.
Josh like that was me on the grassy knoll.
I don't even like grass all that
I've
much.
got the door. I've got the
Or
DeLorean.
Knowles.
I got
Or
the
Knowles, especially Knowles.
I got a DeLorean. in my back.
Beyonce.
Not Beyonce, not her sister, not Grassy, not any of it.
That took me a second to get.
Sleepy.
No.
There you go.
Fuck no.
Knowles.
Sleepy or Doc or any of the Knowles. All right, bye-bye.